Hello everyone, it's Mich here and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's really appreciated. Today is the last day of the Junk Journal July 2024. This is August 1st, but I wanted to come on and finish up the cover and then just do a flip through. So to start with, I did put that lovely faux leather paper that we made, and I just absolutely love it. So then the second thing I did is I just put some ribbon, and this is just cotton lace around, and I have this little buckle that I'm using as a closure on the side. All right, so I thought before we went much further that we would just finish up the front cover. So for the front cover, I've pulled a few things here that I had kind of laid out, and I liked how it looked. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start to get some things down. I'm just going to use some Fabri-Tac. This is just some muslin. I was going to go and actually sew around it, but I forgot till now, and here we are. So, but you definitely can sew around that. I'm going to put Fabri-Tac right to the edge there so that hopefully it won't fray out past the Fabri-Tac. It's nice to put a little line of stitching on material that has a heavy fray, just so that it won't fray out, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And then I'm just going to try and center this as best I can, which I think would look a little bit like that. And I can't obviously center it over there. I'm centering it on this panel here. Okay, and then I just found in my stash this little piece, this other little piece of material. I don't even know if there's a front. Yeah, I think that's the front. I don't even know where I got it, to be honest. I think it came maybe from a pack of material I got at the dollar store, maybe. I was thinking that it might have came in some Happy Mail, but it didn't. I think I just picked it up at the dollar store. And I really like it because it is quite thin, which makes it great for journaling. So I could use this really easily to cover a page in my journal. Okay, let's see if that's got that down. So, yeah, so then I thought we'll just get that down. I do have my glue gun here beside me because I'm going to need that in a few minutes. We'll get that going. All right, let's see here. It's hard to get things centered. But again, I'm not perfect. Not trying to be perfect. I just came back. I was working on this morning and last night. And then I took a little break this morning. I was up early and went over to Value Village. And I picked up a few books. But I picked up some ribbon, which I'm going to do a little show and tell later. Sometimes you find some great things at the thrift store. Sometimes not so much. So then this is just some lace that I had. This is vintage. I've had this a long time. Back to my days when my mother and I used to do a lot of sewing of like little animals and stuff and little dresses and things for rabbits, and then we used to sell them. We didn't make a lot of money, we weren't really, I think, making it to sell it. We just liked making things. And we'd give things away, like to our friends and stuff. Okay, and then this is just another little piece of cotton lace. I love cotton lace. The other day I used a piece here on one of my projects, and I was saying I think it reminded me of my childhood. And then after that, I remembered I had a couple little like sweater type things that were crocheted cotton like this. And I used to love it because I used to feel so cozy when I put that on. Okay, so we've layered that up pretty good. And I just want to pull that lace a little bit out from underneath there. Okay, how we doing? Good. Okay, and then I just have another little piece of lace. This is just some seam binding. And I'm just going to get that down. Okay, and then I'm just going to run that down the middle. And then just let that dry. Okay, and I think I might be done with the Fabri-Tac. So then last night when I was trying to figure out what I wanted for my closure, just trying to get this off my fingers, and I'm looking for I have a little silicone brush thing here. There we go. Let's straighten that out a little bit. Okay, happy with that. Now I'll just try to roll this off my fingers. So I was kind of thinking what I wanted, and I was looking through my stash, and of course I came across these little white paper flowers that I just love. I think I used them on the top of my garden story too. I'm not sure if it was those ones or not. And then I found some little baby's breath. So I thought we'll incorporate that. And then I was looking through and I was thinking, so what's going to be my focal point? And I came across, I took out a bunch of things. So I just took out like some little discs, thinking, that's a button clock. There's another little clock face. And I have some little medallions there and a bunch of keys. And I have this little lock. And then I pulled out my little wooden bits, and I found some little birch bark stars, which is on the background there. So I took some E6000 and I just glued the key to the star. But I also had this little fine wire that I got at the dollar store. It's in brown. And I just wrapped the wire around it so that it just gave it a little bit of extra dimension. But if I hadn't glued it, unless I really wired it well, it would have been sliding around. The thing with E6000 that you want to keep in mind is it really takes time to set up. So I'm usually really impatient, but I usually try to either do it in the morning and let it set all day, or I'll kind of do it at night and let it in the afternoon or whatever, and I let it set overnight. And I have a great big bulldog clip that I clamped on just to hold it tight, and I was really happy with how that turned out. So I was kind of thinking that I'd do something like that, and then put in like the baby's breath. Like do some baby's breath kind of up in there, and then a little bit coming out the bottom. So I'm really kind of liking how that would look. So I'm just going to go ahead, and this is why I've got my glue gun, because I find the glue gun just holds things well. So I'm just going to get that down, and then I think I'll put the baby's breath next, and I'll just put, I think I'll put that like that. But then, of course, I'm just starting to film and the neighbor's got a whippersnip his lawn. I think that's too much, so I'm just going to put, I think I'll put those underneath there. Okay, so I'm just going to cut these a little bit shorter, those little stems, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of that star, and then put my baby's breath in there, like so. And it's the same too with your hot glue. A lot of people think, oh, just put the hot glue in and leave it a few minutes, but it really works best if you just leave it for a time before you try to manipulate or move things around. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that down till it sets in, and then it should be fine. And I want to pull this up. I might have to shut the window if Fred is gonna whippersnip. Okay, it's Sod's law that as soon as you try to do something. So I'm not sure if this metal lock, I might need to E6000 this down too. But I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the back to stick my baby's breath in. Kind of angle it down like so. Then I'm going to put this on. And then put my little flower there. And then put that little lock there. And I think that that would look really cute. The other thing I was kind of thinking, but it might be too late, is I have these, let me see here. I have these Tim Holt chipboard. I should have looked through these before. Hope is never lost. I like that because it's something that we've talked about. Dreamer of dreams, adventure awaits, make a wish, salvaged. That's what I feel sometimes, that I've been salvaged. Love is life, trust your heart. I kind of like that, actually, and it came to hand first off, so I think that it was meant to be. So how do we feel about getting that up underneath there and then having the lock? I don't think there's anything about opening up like a lock and a key or anything. Believe in yourself. See the world. Listen to your heart. Finders keepers. Love this life. Salvaged. Wander. Found. Make a wish. No, I kind of like that. You know, and my thing is that you have the key to unlock any door within yourself. So that was kind of my theme in putting the lock and the key. But I kind of like that. Or do you think it looks a little bit lopsided? Hope is never lost. Because I never really made room for that. And I'm thinking that it might look a little bit just, I wish I could hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'm going to leave it off. I wish I had made room for it. If I could have pulled this star or this flower off, but that's good and I just feel myself, sorry, I'm just trying to get a better look. I just feel with that, I mean, I could put something there. Well, I'm just going to leave it for right now. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to your guys' comments. So tell me what you think. Should I make room for it or not? And I will pass judgment at a later time. I think that makes sense. I'm just going to unplug my glue gun. There we go. Okay, so that's our front cover and our little latch here. So then when you open it up, I've already collaged the insides of the book. So when you open it up, on this side, I have just made a couple vellum pockets with some leftover doilies and just put a couple little tags in there, and the same up there. And then on this side, I just used a butterfly that I'd printed off and then just put a couple little pockets with some tags. So I really think that it gives the cool effect when you open it up and you kind of see that color. So the other thing that I did is I did a bit of doodles around this page because I was never really happy with it. So I just took my pen and I just kind of doodled around the edge, and I stamped some leaves and some flowers, and there's just a lot of noise outside, so I think I'm just going to go away and I'll come back and we'll finish the flip through in a few minutes. Okay, well, I think he's finished. So yeah, so as I was saying, I just did some doodling around this page, which I just felt that it looked more finished. And then we did our Zen Doodle postcard, and our affirmation was, I trust in the power of the universe to guide me. And then I could have put another little pocket here, but I liked my little doodle flower there. So in general, I kind of like how that went. I guess I could have put maybe a wee little pocket there to put a little tag. And that's something you can think about. Then we did the Turkish map fold, and I have an eternal spirit that is always within me. And that's a fantastic little fold, either to put in your journal, or if there's a letter that maybe you've received from somebody, you can always do a little bit of stamping around the letter and then fold that. And that's a great way to keep a memory in your journal. And then we did our little flower pot with the labels, and I release all negative energy from my mind and body. And then we did a little painting, and it's not perfect painting, and I could have highlighted and shaded more, but if you don't paint, it's really easy to put some of your own artwork in your journal, because you don't have to be really fancy. And then we did the little doodles there. Okay, and I just said, just make a couple swooshes and some hearts, some little triangles, and, it really doesn't use a compass or a can or something to make a circle to guide you. And then we just did a little doodled hope card, and I can't remember what all the prompts were, to be honest, and I've put them on the back there. Then we did a belly band. And I think this prompt was wildlife. And the affirmation was, creativity flows through me in abundance. And I put my lovely card from Heike. I think that's how you say it. And then we did a little, you could use a CD case. Mine was too big to fit here, so I just made one. We made one from scratch. And then just put our little journal tag in there. Nature is nurturing me and helping me flourish. And then that opens up, and we have some journal space there, and another little tuck spot here that we can put a little note to ourselves, or if we want to say a little prayer, or put a little note out to the universe or the goddess, whatever you believe. And I thought that was cute. I really loved this one because whatever you do believe, I think it's just important for us to have faith. And we created a little book that you can record, your struggles with faith, or just a daily devotional for a while. And then the prompt or the affirmation was, I have faith in my ability to build the life I've always dreamed. So you always have to have that faith. This one here was just a side tuck, and we used stamping. I think the prompt was stamp. And we stamped on a number of different colored paper, and then just kind of cut them out and fit them in. And I just whenever I go through the journal, my eye kind of catches this page. And then I had another a card from Pam, and then we just made a little journal card to go inside there. And when I act with kindness, it reflects the best of who I am. And that's so true. Then on this one here, I actually went after and just put a little clip there, because every time I opened it kind of flops up. But I really like that we have a little hidden panel there. Gratitude changes my focus onto what is good in my life. And a little bit of sewing there. And then there's room in the back. There's two little pockets there. Or we could even put that in the back pocket and then a little tag in the front pocket, however you want to do that. And then when we lift it up, there's some journal space there. So I quite like this page too. And this prompt was thread on this one. And then this one here we did our embossing, and we did on the back of the vellum. So we embossed on vellum. And just be careful if you do embossing in vellum. You don't want to leave it in one place too long, or the vellum will burn. And so but we colored on the back of the embossing image and then made a little frame with a little drop down and a little pocket. I have the power to manifest every dream, and then made a little tag with a little tuck spot. So again, we can put a little message there, or if you did get a little note from somebody or post it in your lunch box that says have a great day, or something like that, you can fold that up and put it inside there, and a little space to journal on the back. And then we used just a little clip to hold that in place. And then on the next day, we used our packaging to do all kinds of stuff. So we embossed on the back of brown paper just with some texture. I used a stencil with some texture paste, then put my embossing powder. I let it dry, and then I heated it so that the embossing would melt, and it just creates a lovely effect. And then we made a little folio. So with some dried flowers, I glued 2 envelopes together, and then before I glued the back on, I put my flowers in, did a little bit of stamping, and then just left a lot of spaces using some of that plastic on. This was I think it was a sushi, and one was a little fruit compilation that you can get. And this was just some tissue paper that I then just put glue on, but you could put like Mod Podge or to make it really adorable. And then we just used some back of an envelope, some more brown paper. This came from a flower arrangement, but this is quite fragile, so I just took some packing tape, some clear packing tape, and then made a little pocket from that. And then on the back is a little window where we can slot some things in. And then we made a little pocket out of packaging, and I might need to use some Fabri-Tac on that. And then we just, on top of some brown paper, just used a little bit of washi tape. And my mind is quiet and my body is calm. And then on this side, I think it was light, and I can't remember. So we could have kind of doodled this, but I had this paper from a DigiKit, and I think her name is the Sacred Feather, I think. It is in my description of that on that day. And this just reminded me a little bit of the Book of Kells. When I've been to Trinity University in Dublin, and the Book of Kells is there, and it is an illuminated manuscript. So we just took a pen and highlighted bits, and I do like the effect. It's not colorful and all bells and whistles, but I think it is kind of classy, and it's hard to pick it up in this light when the light shines on it, but I quite like that page. And then this is where we made our faux leather that I absolutely love. And then we made a pouch, and in the pouch we just made some little cards. I think we made them. I might have had these ones. No, I think we must have made that one. And I am part of the beauty and perfection of nature. So the prompt for the journal was nature on this one, I believe. And then, and so it was the extra of this paper that because I got right into making it, that I used for the front cover. And then here we just made another belly band with 3 pockets, and took it to the sewing machine and sewed it up. And then actually there's 4 pockets there, I think. And then just made some tags to go in our pockets. And for the tuck spot, we just made a little journal card using our homemade stamps. I think it was our homemade stamps. I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was our homemade stamps. And I possess the inner strength and courage to persevere in the face of uncertainty. And sometimes we just need that, draw on that inner strength that everybody does have. And then this one here was the stamping. actually I forget what the prompt was for this one, but I took a tea-dyed envelope and did some eco staining, and then we just made this little card to go inside, and this was just from a book. So I just cut out an illustration from one of the books. We did a little one of those little letter stamp wax seals, and yeah, and so our affirmation for that day is, I have the energy and passion to make my thoughts reality. And then this one here I just love. I don't know why. Every time, I don't know if it's because it's the last page or how it turned out, but we just took an old piece of out of an atlas, and then folded it so that we have 2 pockets, and then just put some, that's washi, gold washi as trim, and our little butterfly, and I allow my inner child time to play. So I really love that page. I don't know why it catches my eye. And then we started on the back page, and this was my little envelope from Valentina, which is lovely. And each day brings new opportunities to find magic in my life. And we just did, this is the card, the journal card that was sent to me from Lynn. And then we made a couple. I love this card so much. And then the next day is this day here. And here we made a big tag. I think this was the, oh, we got it untied. I'm wondering, now how did this go? This was the flip up tag. And we just stapled some note paper to the tag just so that we can tear that off and use it in other places. And then inside the tag, we had a vellum envelope and a washi sampler, again, that you can use in other bits of your journal. And then there was a side tuck, just for another little journal card. And I think there was only the one journal card, yeah. And then this tag here was one that we had made from the packaging, that we had just taken that rigid plastic and I can't see. And then I had just taken a sticker that I had, which was in the shape of a tag, and then just cut it out. And it just looks really cool. And it has a nice feel as it's, rigid plastic. So it just gives the page another little dimension. And then this one here was a picture. So I just had a picture of the girls and just matted that and put that down. And all I have to do is spread my wings and fly, because they're just getting out there in the world. This one here, everything around me is in perfect harmony. So we made an expandable little pocket just by making those accordion hinges on the side, and this would hold a lot of stuff. So there are a few file cards there, but I mean, you could put other little memorabilia, and if you left enough space in your journal and you were traveling, you could put receipts and things inside there so that they wouldn't get lost. And you could make a pocket on the side. I don't think I did leave one. But you could make a tuck spot, but with the bulk that's actually in the pocket, then you might not want to add all these tucks around it as well. Then this one is one of my favorites too. This was based on one that Chris had sent me in Happy Mail. So we just made a few of these folded doilies, and there's a number of little tuck spots there. So, and these cards were just cards that I had picked up from a DigiKit, but I just think that's so lovely. And then this one here was the tip out. So we made a little folio that tips out, and you have a little flip up with a top tuck pocket and another little pocket, again, for some little cards that you can actually use for journaling on, or again, you could use it somewhere else in your journal. And not a little side tuck there, just a little interactive tag that you could write a little secret message. And yep, I believe I am capable and I can do it. So then on the next day, we did this watercolor Dutch door. So I just found an image of a butterfly online and then just did the cycle of life where they lay their eggs. The eggs hatch into a caterpillar, which then goes into a chrysalis and emerges as a butterfly. And I think that we all should remember that we do have the power of transformation. And the tide of destiny has turned and good things await. And I'm not sure how far I did this in advance of my vacation. I should have looked on the calendar because my vacation was absolutely wonderful. I did do a little journaling here. A butterfly is a symbol of transformation, and its short lifespan makes it a fitting representation of the ephemeral nature of existence. So, oh, I remember it was ephemeral, which was our prompt for that day. And then we used the tea dyed. So I use a part of a tea dyed curtain and another piece that I got at the Value Village, which was another big curtain, but the panels had these stitched butterfly and a flower as well. And then just took a little bit of deli paper and made a bag. And then we just made these little lovely little owl cards. And I just loved reading your guys' comments about the owl. That really made my day. Something wonderful is going to happen to me today and every day. So one is just a plain journal card. And then this one here has a little pocket where, again, you can put some little bits. You could use this as a little bit of a journal spot. Or again, use it to put somewhere else in your journal. So I just love those. I'm thinking that I will try to recreate a couple of these to send out. My next mail out is probably going to be around September-ish. So maybe make some more for Happy Mail because you seem to really like those. If you are a regular person on my channel and leaving comments regularly and you want to be in for some Happy Mail, don't hesitate to email me your address. So Bront or Dragonfly or Carol, you've been with me almost since the beginning or from the beginning. So, I'd be happy to send you a few little bits and bobs if you want to give me your address. And then this one here was our Celtic cross, and you saw how easy it was to do these little knots and crosses and stuff. And some of you have actually tried it. So I was really pleased about that. And I just love those how those turn out. I just love those little I call them bookmarks, journal cards, whatever. But I think I will do a couple of these for Happy Mail too, just because they almost look professional, which I'm definitely not that, but. And then getting on towards the end of the month, we did this little, my take on poetic. So we just took, this was just junk mail. Well, not junk mail, but it was part of my creative studio stuff came in that. So we just decorated that and then had a little space for journaling. And then again, created a little book that we could write some poetry in, or if there's quotes or stuff that maybe you want to use through here. The other thing that you could do, and I didn't think of it till afterwards, is that as I went along, I had a little reference in front of me of a lot of my prompts. But what you could do is you could print these out, and then you could put them in your notebook. And then as you use them in the journal, you could either pre-cut them. You'd need to size it so they all fit in your journal, your little notebook. But when you staple it inside it, then you could already pre-cut them. So you only have to rip the strip off like you kind of do in the grocery store when somebody says, I'm looking for such and such, pull this take my number, and they have the numbers there that you can pull off and take home. Well, kind of like that. Or if you do travel with your journal and you have a little pair of scissors with you, or you're doing it at home, you can put those in and then just use them as you want, as you need them. So we made that little book. I am at peace with the abundant blessings I am given. So I really love how that looks too. And then we did this little double door, my take on buttons. So we have the buttons that stick into the little, the dot, the little jelly dot thing that's holding the buttons on. So we used buttons there. And then when you open up, this kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, although it's not, because they went in the closet and came out. But like you're opening up the magic door, and then here you are. As you can tell throughout my journal, I like things that open and move. And but we made a little pocket here for whatever you want to put there. We made a journal card with this great big button. I actually sewed that on, and then made a little notebook by doing some of those eyelets on a round circle. If you didn't have the eyelets, you could still do the circles and take a jelly, like one of these metallic gel pens, and just go around the circle so that they kind of stand out, like as in a kind of like a faux metal. So then we had a little notebook there. So that was something we did with buttons, and then just buttons as an accent. So I kind of went overboard with the buttons, but I love buttons. And again, like I said during the day that I did the video, I don't often use my buttons because I kind of forget about them. And then this day here, we did contrast. So my take on contrast, the ways that you could use it was a color against black and white, black or even black and white, and then contrasting colors itself, where red kind of contrasts with blue, I guess, but then also shapes, so rectangles versus circles. So I would have used different colors if I was just going to do this kind of technique for my journal, but because I wanted to display contrast is why I used all those colors. And then we're getting to the very end, so that we've got our vellum pocket, I accept myself without judgment. And then I can't remember what the prompt was for this day, but it was shine. So we just did a mail slot pocket with some shiny gold paper, and then just use some embossing to do a little bit of shine. I cut out some of the little reinforcers from the mirror paper, and then I just had this ribbon, this shiny ribbon clip that we just attached, just a little bit of ribbon, and then just some more tags. And then the piece de resistance is our butterfly that opens up. I just absolutely love that. And that finished off the journal. So I just have been so happy to have you on this journey with me. And, especially those who every day, or, every day that you could, you were watching and leaving your comments. That just means a lot. So I'm interested to know in your comments if I should put that on. I mean, I could always put that up there. Or leave it off, because I can't get this flower off now, so it's going to have to kind of tuck somewhere there. But anyways, let me know that. But before we go, I got a couple things to show and tell. So for $3.99 at Value Village, I got all of this ribbon, and some of it looks really lovely. I'm going to recycle this bag for Chester's litter box. But here we've got some cotton lace, like the old-fashioned kind. I love that. And then we just have some polka dots, and a lot of this is Michael's. that's not, but, and then I was interested in this one here, because this is like really cool. Oh, it's butterflies. Oh, isn't that awesome? So yeah, so that was something I picked up at Value Village this morning for $3.99. So that was a steal. And then I did get my postcards that I sent myself. I have also sent a few out to some of you guys. So, and I will also be sending some out next month when I'm in Cavendish, Green Gables. So I think I have 5 international stamps left and a few US stamps, so, and Canadian, of course. So if you're a big Anne of Green Gables fan and you'd like a postcard, I can take, you know, I can send out a few. So if you'd like one, I can't guarantee I can send one to everybody, but make sure you email me or let me know in the comments, and I will send one out from Cavendish. And the good thing about sending it from Cavendish, it actually has the Anne of Green Gables stamp on it. So it's kind of special. So I can send some out. I also received some slow stitch material from Debbie. So she does a slow stitch journal, which I've not really done. And I'm thinking maybe I might try one in the winter time. But she gave me everything that I could use on a page. So some ticking, some lovely and black and white, and then music, some lovely lace, and I absolutely loved those applique flowers. Those are beautiful, and that little crocheted mini doily, and then a lot of little bits that can go on to the page. So friendship, hope, and then there's some faith, love, peace, and then some Bible verses. The Lord is my rock, and do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. So, and the little charm, lost and found, and a lovely little card. So thank you so much, Debbie. I really love that. And then, big surprise in my mail, I just got my mail yesterday. Melanie had sent me a lovely little card with a gift card to Tim's for us to share coffee. So I thank you so much, Melanie, and everybody who has sent me happy mail and comments and just supported me. Without you guys, there would be no need for me to be here. So, so thanks so much. But yeah, so I think that's all that I have to say. And again, just thanks for following me this month. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do every day. But I'm kind of thinking maybe I would do just some craft along stuff. I don't know if that would be of interest to you, but, you know, doing some collage cards and, you know, maybe some different bits and bobs, just because I want to build up my stash as well. But I'll try to plan something coming up soon. I will continue to put out my Daphne's Diary on Friday, and well, as many Fridays as I can, and of course my Marguerites on Sunday. But thank you so much. You're so appreciated. Until we meet again, I really do hope you stay safe and well. And bye for now. From me and Chester.